this is Doc from the Stogie Fresh 5 podcast, and you're listening to the Geeks, the Stogie Geeks, with Tim and Paul. Kick back and enjoy as the Geeks kick ash each week. Listen in to the regular episodes as they smoke and chat about their weekly list of stogies. And now, back to the Stogie Geeks.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Stogie Geek Show. We've got a fantastic segment. First, we've got a couple things to go over before we start that. We're going to read, Stogie Santa is going to read the unbanded number 3 that smoke. Stogie Santa did in our first segment. So before you read it, what was your assessment of the cigar?
Excellent.
What was your rating?
I would give that a all-day 90, 91.
90, 91. Now, in our rating system,
our rating, I would call that a box-worthy cigar.
I was going to say it's about a box-worthy, right?
All day long. I tell you.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead.
It's a Ronaldo Grand Empire Reserve.
Renato, you said?
Yep.
Wow.
5x55 box press. Listen to this for the price. $199 for a box of 20.
Wow.
All right. That is, to me, pretty good. The wrapper is a Nicaraguan Habano Maduro. It's a Puro. And the binder and filler is Nicaraguan. So it's very, 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 I tell you, very, very good cigar. That's the first time.
Santa was impressed with the unbanded.
I'll tell you what. This is my first time with that manufacturer.
Unbanded number 3 was again on the previous segment that we did, episode 50, part 1 was the cigar that Stogie Santa was smoking.
You know, I've never had a Renato either, and I've never had what mine was, and I'm not going to say yet because you guys are both smoking mine that I had.
Yes. So we're smoking unbanded number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And you're smoking unbanded number 1, which was my cigar in the first segment.
Right. So I'm going to keep
I like this
it to myself.
It keeps the listener
But I've
thinking.
never had number 3. I've never had anything from number 2.
I'll tell you, this Gravity is something else, dude.
Gravity, man. You're killing it, man. I got to say, you're killing it right now.
100%.
That's awesome. All right. Remind everyone, please visit our website, www.stogiegeeks.com, for all the podcasts, videos, reviews, more, all the cigars that we've been smoking is in the Stogie section, all with our wonderful rating system. Okay. Now, I call this one, and I didn't really prepare you guys for this segment very well, so you're going to have to do it off the cuff. I call this Around the Humidor with Stogie Geeks.
Okay.
So I've got 4 topics. I'm going to go around to each of us, give our initial assessment on the I thought that was really good, too. So you're going to give your assessment of the topic that I'm going to throw out to you. It's kind of like, what's the show with the multiple people in ESPN? They go around the
around the horn.
Around the horn. This is kind of
Around
so.
the
This is around the humidor.
Geeks.
This is around the
Humidor
humidor with Stogie Geeks. Okay. Topic number 1: should you remove the cellophane from your cigars or not? And I have a follow-up question. So Stogie Santa, why personal preference? So you're saying not definitive either direction, to remove the cellophane before you put it in the humidor or leave the cellophane on. You're saying either way.
Well, because if you got to rehumidify that cigar, then I would take it off.
Okay.
Because when depending how you're setting up your humidor, how many times you're handling the cigar, cellophane can provide some protection for that. And again, all mine, the cellophanes, that if it comes on that, I leave them on. I don't have to.
You leave it on untouched.
Untouched.
I do as well.
Okay, so Mark Jr., cellophane or not cellophane?
I leave them on simply because I'm not known to be the most delicate man to ever walk the face of the planet. So if I put some, if it comes with cellophane, I definitely leave it on.
Right.
Yeah, just so I don't screw it up.
When you're doing some, rearranging your cigar, humidor, whatever it is, if it's a Avalo or whatever you have, or if it's whatever you have as a humidor, and you drop it, it's well worth it for me. I keep them on.
So I've done both. I went through a time when I was taking the cellophane off.
Yep.
I find if you're going to take the cellophane off, you got to control temperature and humidity much more closely with a cigar that does not have cellophane, because the cellophane will hold some of the moisture.
Of course it will.
In that cigar and help it keep it more steady. The other thing is they will break and crack, and especially on
the foot.
And the foot.
Yeah.
The foot will definitely come off. And I'm like, I'm super careful. I've got a nice nicely laid out humidor, but no, they will.
That's why I like.
They will damage.
I love the band at the foot of the cigar.
So that and I never realized that before I started thinking about this question, that some manufacturers will or will not put cellophane on, but they'll put the band at the foot. Usually it's like a red
Like the
ribbon,
cane.
like a ribbon, yeah.
Cane does that.
Or they'll put a regular
Opus
paper
puts it,
band
yep.
on the foot, and that's to prevent it from cracking. So my recommendation to people is to leave the cellophane on, because I think it's too much of a chance that you're going to hurt the cigar in some way, shape, or fashion. Also, I think that no matter how well you think you're controlling temperature and humidity, you need all the help you can get, and by leaving the cellophane on, your cigars are going to be stay much more constant in terms of humidification. So I'm really, my personal recommendation, always leave it on. Now, how do you guys feel about cutting the ends off either end of the cellophane so that the cigar can breathe? Some say that contributes to the aging. Stogie Santa?
I don't. I think it's more. You're saying the ear. I don't know how much that is true. To me, I look at it as purely if you got a temperature controlled Yumi, that's more important than worrying about cutting the end off each and every one, because you may have a fan inside.
Yeah.
So that air going into, my personal opinion, that air going into that cellophane not getting in there, I don't go with that.
Now, Mark Jr., you gave me a couple cigars that
I didn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't think you did, because you don't do that with your other ones. But both ends were cut off of the cellophane.
Yeah, in those opuses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my father-in-law must have gone through a period where he did that, because there's some of the older opuses and some of the older añejos that I have are like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Not worth it.
I wouldn't.
Not worth it.
I mean, it's
because that gives you some
I've
protection,
been
but also
aging
lets it-
cigars for a while, and
Yeah.
and they age perfectly
They
fine
age
in the
fine.
cello.
Yeah, right.
in the tube, in the cello, in the coffin, right?
They
In the
age
box,
fine.
out
I
of the
think
box.
the cello to me is more important for the manufacturer and the person at the shop. Why I say that? Look at the what we're talking about. Help me out. I guess senior moment. We're just talking the Esteli Herreras.
Oh, yeah.
They came in. What's going to
Prime
happen?
example.
Prime example. The guy at the B&M or the consumer opens up and he sees cracked cigars and whatever. What's he going to do? Wah 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 wah.
Right.
So that is really important. And then depending how the B&M sets up his cigars, if he has a stand-up humidor or if he puts in the individual sticks, the handling of it, I think it's more on the manufacturer's end than it is worrying about how you're going to put them in the humidor. So.
Well, the other thing, too, with cellophane that I like is that there'll be a sticker that holds the end of the cellophane to the rest of it, and that'll have various levels of information on it. So there'll be a barcode. There'll be the size of the cigar, and in some cases the price, depending on if the store has put a sticker with the price on it. Some put their own barcode with the price. I like that. Tells me how much I paid for it. Tells me what cigar it is, what the size is. If it's a single that got mixed up in my humidor, I like that from a consumer standpoint, having that level of information. Now, what about the theory that if cigars touch, do they leak flavors onto each other?
No.
Stogie Santa. You got a Maduro and an Ecuadorian Connecticut sitting next to each other.
I don't think that's true. The only thing you don't want to do is if someone has I don't. If you have a flavor or an acid or something like that, that I do believe. But Maduro to Habano to et cetera.
So you don't think the oils are going to come off that cigar and leak out? Do the oils come off the cigar when it's sitting in your humidor?
I've never had that happen.
never had that happen.
Dude, but it turns into plume. I mean, it's not just going to leak oil like a leaky oil in a car.
I mean, how many times have you ever? I've never, in my experience with cigars, I've had something on the side where the oil is on the other cigar. Have you?
No.
No.
Have you ever had it where it's on the side of your cigar, at the bottom of the tray, or whatever it is? No. So, no.
Because you think about how many times in the cellophane that you pulled off the cigar and you got oil in there. You'll see that's a cellophane because that's a lack of. I'm not going to. That's another story for another time. But it turns yellow not because it's a cigar inside. You don't see. Do you ever see oils on a cellophane?
Well, the cellophane turns brown, but that's not what. So
that's more because of the cellophane than it is the cigar. The cigar.
So the cigar is not. Is the cigar? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Does the cigar turn the cellophane?
Some of it
yellow. Some of the oils. No, but having said that, if you have two cigars next to each other, will it turn the other one brown if it's next to it?
Oh, I know it's a perfect example. We have LED. We have. our display cases. You see that? You
Yeah.
see the LED lights inside there?
Yeah.
They're all yellow.
Interesting.
Yeah, but they're not touching cigars.
They're not even near the cigars.
They're not even near the cigars.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
So, again, cellophane doesn't have, not getting into the plastic background that I have, they have no kind of inhibitor or stabilizer in that cellophane. So it's going to naturally, it's going to lose its color. It it's clear.
Right, yeah.
It's not. It's not clear. It's going to
So
turn color.
Gravity in the chat room says he used to remove all the cellophane until he watched our show where I mentioned some of the problems that I had with removing the cellophane, and now he leaves it on religiously.
That's a smart thing.
I think that's the recommendation
that's the
we have a consensus.
Oh yeah. Oh absolutely. And again, not to be redundant, it's more, I think, when you see the manufacturers, what they're doing now is protecting so they don't get especially the B&Ms. And what I do, any new box that's open, I could do a visual quick inspection of it to make sure it's okay. And cellophane cigars, I've never seen cracked foots. I never see crack the end of the cigar, nothing. So
I'm smoking the unbanded number 2 that Mark Jr. had. It's got very much a Nicaraguan profile. Very, very good. What do you think?
I like it a lot, but I still like the first one I smoked better.
Okay.
This thing that I'm smoking, number 1 right now, did you mention leather at all?
I didn't get a lot of leather off of that. No.
I am.
What do you think of it? You liking the...
I love it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good, too. Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Wait till you try number 3. I'm telling you, not very many subtle changes, but I'll tell you. I didn't get that. You said it had a little spice in the beginning on yours?
Yeah, in the back of my tongue.
I didn't really... very, very slight, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm not getting much spice of this, but the flavor's really nice.
Yeah.
I get very much like a Nicaraguan, almost a Tatawaje kind of flavor profile.
That's why I got, like I said, I didn't get much sweetness off mine, but it was just not a big change up in mine, but that just great flavors in it. Super, super good. And the construction. Did you see the construction on my cigar? It was almost not seamless, but
it was really
good.
All right, second question
Anyway.
for Around the Humidor. Do some classic cigar brands seem to be watered down? I think I picked this up from StogieGuys.com.
Yes.
So that is, do they replace the tobacco with cheaper or different tobacco and call it the same cigar? And I'll do the follow-up question. So, Stogie Santa, is it are the larger brands getting watered down? I'm talking generally. I mean, we always talk about specific examples. I mean,
the whole thing is, it comes to my mind. Altadis is your largest one. To me, they'll change up, and yes, they do. But that being said, keep something in mind. You're dealing with nature. 1 year it can be a hot, very wet, damp season. Next one could be dry.
Right.
So that changes when you may think it's watering down or changing.
So nature aside, do they take leaves from a lower priming, which are typically cheaper, right, or not as good a quality, and put them in and replace them with primings that were higher up on the plant to save money? Or maybe
I would doubt it.
Maybe they'll buy a crop. Maybe they'll buy a crop from somewhere else, right?
Right.
They get a great deal on a crop, and they're like, "Oh, I can take one of those higher production value leaves that I was using in cigar X, swap in this leaf, maybe no one will know."
Grade B.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yes, the answer is yes.
So do you think smoking some of those larger brands, that's definitely happening?
Oh, Altadis all day long.
Rocky
General, Rocky. I'm not going to get
the high volume manufacturers.
Oh, exactly.
We've talked about Rocky Patel ad nauseum.
Yeah, we talked about
right. It just again. It's ironic with him. He's more about pricing, and what he's selling is more important than what he's putting out. That's my opinion. I'm not going to get into that too much. But anything else besides that, yes. I think the big warehouse brands, absolutely.
So, Mark Jr., in your smoking experience, have you smoked some of the larger brands and said, this wasn't like it was before, they've changed this somehow? Is it watered down? Do you get some watering down?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, yeah. I mean, I don't mean to harp on it, but a lot of the Rocky Patel stuff when I first started smoking, I thought was awesome.
Old world.
Awesome. The old
we
world
always bring up the old world.
The vintage 1992s, the sun-growns. Those were all like really, really good smokes.
So what this person's suggesting is they're not changing the blend from necessity, that they're changing it to lower their costs.
I don't know if that's what happened or not, but I mean, that's the first example that jumps into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, let's take one on the other side though, right? Because Arturo Fuente is a huge high volume brand, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't think that they do that,
No,
right?
I think
the
you're
Hemingways
right.
over time have been consistent.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the band. I was a little bit nervous about that maybe they changed the blend when they changed the band. No, those new
blends are the
bestsellers
same.
that just came out were
They're the same,
awesome.
dude.
No,
I
but
agree.
that's
The
what I'm saying.
So
signatures
Stogie
just came out
saying
great.
Arturo Fuente, you're
Fuentes,
agreeing?
Padrones, you know.
Yeah, Padron, another very high volume one that I don't think does
No,
that.
they don't happen. Even the your LFDs, I'll throw in there. There's no doubt.
They're consistent.
They're consistent. I mean, again, like you get Pete Johnson's original J21. Did he try switch it up? No, but maybe that particular crop, that particular year. I believe in that and that particular type of cigar as Rockies.
I don't
and
think
also-
Tatawahe's swapping in.
But he's
cheap
a
relief
small
to save-
batch guy anyways.
He's a small
Well,
batch
he's not
guy
as
anyway.
small as you
Well,
think now.
yeah.
He's getting bigger and bigger and
But
bigger.
still, I think, for me, I don't know, people may agree or disagree, that nature probably plays a bigger part with Tatawahe
Than-
than
oh,
some of the
oh,
other ones.
yep.
Because of the way they've changed.
Well, take a look at even with Padron. Everyone thinks it's a Puro. San Andreas Maduro, Mexican. And they call it a Nicaraguan Puro. So, you know, it's...
I tell you what doesn't change is how often we ash on ourselves.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't
It is
change.
what it
That's
is.
one thing that stays constant.
Yep, I'm very good at that.
Alrighty. Okay, so here's one. If you had to choose one, what's your white whale cigar right now, Stogie Santa?
My white whale cigar right now.
You can think about that one. I can go first because I thought
Go ahead.
mine is the El Centurion, but the Lancero. I smoked some of the El Centurion.
Yes.
This was the special
Yeah,
blend,
that's,
special blend by Don Pepin, right? Came out with the Centurion blend as a special release.
And they did the new one that was,
Yeah.
I was down in. Go ahead.
Now, Mark Jr. had traded me one for, it was a regular El Centurion. It was a Robusto. Now, I'm saying regular, but it was a Robusto. It was not a Lancero.
That was the one that they came out with the most, I think.
Yeah.
I think that was the
Yeah.
highest number.
Now
But
they're
they made
coming
it-
out with a Toro now.
They made
I
a
did the Toro.
Lancero. They're very limited. They're very hard to find. I believe it's coming out with more of them.
Yeah,
I think they're on the horizon.
right. Well, the
but the
Toro is
Lan-
going to get released first. The
Okay.
6x52.
The Lancero is the one that's on my white whale list.
God,
That's
I've knocked so many of them off. It's hard for me to think of
I
one
can't-
right now. But
Right on top of my mind, I can't.
can a white whale simultaneously be something that you've had?
Yeah,
Sure,
exactly.
absolutely.
Okay, the cigar in the bottle.
Yes. Absolutely.
The cigar in the bottle, yeah, for sure.
And I'll tell you what, the other one to hop on it was, but you can't do it, the Padron Millennium. But now, the ones that the last
I
one I,
still
had was
have
on the
one
way
left.
down.
I need to smoke it. Yeah.
Don't waste that time.
That was
There's-
that was Oasis for me. I
I
had
would-
a Millennium and it was an Oasis.
I
I
would
have
love to
not
have
had the Opus X cigar in the bottle that
Me
came in a
either.
bottle of cognac.
I would love to have another one of those Lost City Perfectos that I had too. That was a really awesome cigar.
No, I had the Lost City. It wasn't a Lost City Perfecto. It was a Forbidden X Perfecto. Is the one that
I'll
I
tell
had.
you, another one that jumps to the top
It
of my
was-
mind is that 2000.
Maybe it was a Forbidden X. No, it definitely was a black banded Lost City. It definitely was. It definitely
Was that-
They say Forbidden on them, but it also had the
Is it-
second
oh,
Lost City
City,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for
that
sure.
2003 Robusto that I had, the Cohiba.
2003 Cohiba, so Robusto.
Remember the ones we smoked on? Oh,
Yes,
God.
those were really good.
Those are epic,
Yes,
epic. I mean,
epic.
again, we're talking white whales that we had. So
One thing I wish that was still the same, the Antonio, the Hoya de Nicaragua, and Antonio Machitos and the
Machitos.
Lanceros.
Oh.
Those are gone. Those are awesome.
Any of the white whales in the Cuban side, there's a lot of special released Cubans. A lot of people put some Cohiba. There's a few Cohibas that I see on everyone's list as being tops, like 1966
Yeah.
something.
I heard some up and down reviews on the 66.
Really? Okay.
But again, reviews.
That's
What's
what
a
I
review?
just reviewed. Wasn't it the $50 one
Yeah.
that just came out? Yeah.
Oh, is that what it
Oh,
was?
is it you? That yeah.
Gravity gave me one, and I'm really, really psyched that I got to try it. But I don't know if I'd chase it again, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. What else would be something that's out there for me, man?
I'll tell you what.
I could smoke another. That old Padron that you gave me, I could go for.
Oh, yeah,
I could go
that
for another 10 of
10-year-old.
those.
and
yeah.
no, it's funny.
Oh, so did we talk about that on the show enough?
Yeah.
No.
No.
And I cannot wait to see Rudy at that out in Vegas because no one from Padron himself. I talked to people when I was ordering cigars, and they're saying there's no way it's a 2000, and I got that tag. I cannot wait. I can't wait to see Rudy.
Yes, I do have one that I've never had before. Tatuaje came out with the Cojite. They're coming out with it again this year.
Yeah.
But I heard those first ones were friggin' awesome.
Cojite.
Cohete.
Okay.
Yep.
I heard that those were great, and I've never tried one of
Now,
those.
the 50% flat tire reminds me of the Cohiba Gran Reserva is the one that I've seen on a lot of people's white whales.
Yes,
I've
I've seen
never
that
had
too.
one. I've seen that before. I've never had one, but I've seen it on a lot of people's lists. That was the one I was thinking of.
Okay. Next one.
All righty.
Is that the end of the questions there? Or?
Well, and I put that out there just in case people want to send us. I'll be honest, and maybe we have one of your white whales and we can swap.
That's it.
Send us emails. We'll
Yeah,
figure stuff
absolutely.
out for you.
Okay,
I guess-
so Casana, favorite wrapper to smoke outdoors. Your favorite
Connecticut-
wrapper style.
Outdoors, Connecticut broadleaf.
I wholeheartedly agree. Mark Jr.
I think that's a
Yeah,
unanimous.
it's unanimous. It's very hardy.
Yeah.
And it holds up to. So I smoked one today. It was a very windy day.
Yeah, I did the same
Working
thing.
on my boat. And it was really windy out today, especially by the pond in the back here. So I've been smoking the EP Carrillo Cardinal
Maduro.
Maduro
With the
52s
Connecticut broadleaf.
with the Connecticut broadleaves. And I tell you what, it doesn't matter what the weather is outside. That thing will smoke and smoke well. Unbelievable.
I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but remember we were doing the Sumatras. We were saying it's really good, and I said, I smoked the Maduro. I said, give this time, and look what's happening. It's exploding. Everybody's. I mean,
That's my new favorite outdoor smoking cigar.
Isn't it?
Hands down. In the winter, in the summer,
And I think
any kind of adverse weather conditions in general outside.
we're going
stick
to
with. Now, what are some of your other favorite Connecticut broadleafs?
Dark Ritual.
Dark Ritual.
Dark Ritual. I don't know if I take that one outside necessarily. But
The
that is really good.
El Trumfador, the Lancero.
Oh, that's funny. We just traded for one of those. Yes.
man,
Mark
those
Jr. and
are,
I, did a
I
little
had some
trading.
aged on those.
I just picked up 3 original releases,
Yeah.
actually.
I got 2 left at original release.
Yeah.
They
I didn't have
something
any, but then I
special.
just bought these 3 off of a gentleman.
And what's the one he's going to re-release?
The Reserva, Nueva Reserva.
No way. Yep. The original. That thing was that was really good. And then the pork tenderloin.
Was that a Connecticut
Yeah.
broadleaf on the pork tenderloin?
Yeah.
How about this? My personal favorite, the work of art Maduro, but I mean any of those Hemingway Maduros.
That's true. Any of the Hemingway, they are Connecticut broadleaf.
That's another phenomenal Connecticut broadleaf.
Now, a lot of these online sites and auctions, you can actually go search by wrapper type, and that's a great way to see
Yeah.
what else is out there for Connecticut broadleaf. Don't just stick to
Yeah.
our recommendations. No, that's obviously stuff we're familiar with, smoked in the past.
I think Connecticut broadleaf makes the best Maduros too.
I think so too.
I mean, everything we've mentioned is the Connecticut broadleaf Maduro. Obviously,
right.
That's
It's just it's funny how we can't pick out what different cigars and what they are, but I think even someone with a little bit of experience under the belt can pick out a wrapper that's a Connecticut broadleaf, not by the color, but that sweetness. It's unmistakable. It's unmistakable.
There's a reason why. Just this little, that Connecticut River Valley. It's a very small region,
Right.
but like every major manufacturer makes a cigar with a wrapper with that wrapper. I mean, every single one of them does. So
I can't wait. It was funny. Speaking of wrappers and what's going to happen, Pepin he bought a big parcel of land, and he's right near a river, and he had this fig tree had to be at least 40 to 50 feet tall and about almost as wide. He left the tree there because he was afraid that when he altered the stream, that it was going to wash away. He's growing some
wash away the soil.
The soil, I'm sorry. And what he did some shade grown in there. And all through this, you got all the figs dropping down. You can hear it sounds like there's squirrels in a tree. Think about the figs falling into a tree, from the tree into the soil.
Decomposing into the dirt.
Oh, my God. He gives me a little wink, and he says, what do you think? And I can't wait.
So that's a good segue. So you visited the My Father
Yep.
factories in Nicaragua recently. So how
Correct. That
was sort of one of the highlight stories for me from the trip was the tobacco field farm under the fig tree.
Yeah,
that's
it was.
really cool.
He could run a bank. I've been to a couple of 3-4 factories. The man is insane. He is incredible. He makes everything from his own boxes, own cellophane. He has a system that's incredible, like no other.
And you haven't always said the same things about other cigar factories you've visited.
Not at all, because I don't want to waste a whole lot of time of nonsense. All I'm trying to say is that the variations, I've never seen anyone keep it to such a minimum as Don Pepin. Incredible. And I'll leave it at this. It was like a 100-acre parcel of land, and no one wanted it because it was rocky. He took all the rocks out of there, and he's going to make those where he had about 8 to 12, maybe 15 rows of stones, probably 5 feet high and about 80 feet long. And that's what he's going to, when he put his seedlings, when he puts his greenhouse, nothing goes to waste. Nothing. It's incredible. And the soils that he has, an interesting thing, I was asking him, because instead of, how I just go off my own little way, I was eating each and every plant. And some of the Ligero.
Eating them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to taste I had one. It was a Ligero.
Did it make you nauseous?
I had one. I'll tell you what. I had a buzz.
Really?
A freaking buzz. To talk about nicotine right off the thing, right off the bat. And I'm gonna put a picture. I'm gonna send it to you of the flowers, what it looks like on the plant, and it is incredible. Everything, nothing at all goes to waste. Nothing at all. And this man here, it just keeps going and going. He's 62 years young. When I say young, this man is incredible. And
you just said a comment to me that I thought was interesting. You said he's a farmer.
Yeah, he that's what he is, and he knows
it's
everything.
Like farming engineering,
and that's what he says, and that's what he know what determines what is a shade grown, or it's going to be Connecticut broadleaf, or it's going to be whatever it is. What do you think determines him what that plant's going to be?
Where it's planted?
Not where it's planted. What's the determining factor? Like, is it going to be because it's in the sun, or it's going to be whatever? It's the soil. The soil, when it's clay, and it's like that, it's going to be more. That's going to be more of the Connecticut the shade grown plants, right? Whereas the other ones, because the other one's more compact. So the soils would determine what plants it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I'm telling you, I was mesmerized by him.
There's no doubt about it that guy's got the finger on the pulse of the cigar industry.
Just on his My Father cigars, on his factory, it goes in just My Father's and comes out My Father's, and that's it. Nothing else. Just My Father. He has each separate factory for each one.
It's interesting you say that, because we talked about earlier the consistency in the Davidoff construction.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one other brand that I can say I don't hesitate to purchase because of the consistency is anything that comes out of that factory.
Right.
That My Father factory must have a phenomenal quality control.
And the one thing that stuck out the most, I went to every factory. Now, when you go inside, what they all do, they put before it goes into the boxing process, when they put them into the box, when they're aging them. Every factory I've been to, you got a bundle. They're all laying down, and
on their side,
on the side. And the first thing I noticed is every one of his cigars was standing up. I said, "Why is that?" He says, "This way here, when they cure, this way the moisture comes down, it will air itself out. This way, when they're laying down, they don't." And I couldn't believe it. And every bundle he has a born-on date. And he's over there, and the way he does it is incredible. When he turns around, when he's aging things, he puts down the day it comes in, the temperature, everything. Because what happens, nothing is the same.
That all plays into how long
he ages because you got to be careful. Like I asked a question. I saw a temperature degree of 20 degrees difference from one to the other. He has no explanation. You got to be careful when you do the rotation, because it starts decomposing. You're in trouble. So anyway, let's go on to something different. It's really
we're going to go on and we're going to read our on bandits. So the one you,
by the way, that Kragenmore to the listeners
It's
out
good.
there,
Oh, yeah.
that's phenomenal.
Isn't it good?
That's really delicious.
Yeah.
Cragganmore Speyside 12-year
I love
Scotch.
Speyside. Anything about Speyside's good.
Goes really well with cigars, doesn't
Yeah,
I'm
it?
going to
man.
tell you what. You talk about a pairing with the two cigars I had, the Forward. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Woodford Reserve
Balwinnie's another
Forward.
Speyside.
What's that?
Balwinnie's another Speyside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go through what we drink really quick. Woodford Reserve. This is the Forward.
Masters Collection
Oh,
from
my God.
2013.
Oh my God! With cigars. Phew.
We
What do you-
briefly
this-
touched on the Cragganmore.
Cragganmore,
Here.
12-year.
12-year. Really, really, really nice dram. That's really
And
delicious.
the staple,
actually.
the staple that we always
Yeah, the
pretty much
Balwinnie
have it.
signature,
Balwinnie
12-year,
signature, yeah.
batch number 5. It's made its way through 3 different barrels. The sherry butts, first fill bourbon, and refill bourbon. I mean,
Fantastic.
if you haven't had it, get it because it's a reasonable price.
Yeah.
And
All right. So
how much did the Cragganmore go for?
it wasn't that expensive.
I'll tell you,
I
about
wouldn't
Vinis
imagine it's a
are
12
going
years,
up
so.
in price.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
But they're still worth it.
Oh,
I would
I'm not saying they're
imagine.
not, but
All right. So I've got cigar number 1. This was
okay.
the small. Would you call
No, yours. I want to. Would you mind
Oh,
Mark
sorry.
read his?
Go ahead,
I
Mark.
have no idea what this is.
So
Okay.
wait. So which one are
It's
you reading?
Nicaraguan, that's for sure.
The 2.
Number 2,
Number
which
2.
is the one I.
You guys are both smoking right now. I
Yeah.
smoked first.
So this is the one I'm smoking now.
Yes.
Number 1 was the other. Okay, so this is what I'm smoking now. The one you smoked in segment 1, Mark Jr. cigar for segment 1.
Yeah.
And the cigar that Stogie Santa and I are smoking now had a little bit of a shaggy foot. Take it away, Mark Jr.
The Roma Craft Tobacco Intemperance BA12 Intrigue. It's a 4x46 Petito, it says here. That must be what they named it.
Yep.
But a 4x46 is a Petit Corona. It's a $135 for a bundle of 30.
Holy crap!
Are you kidding me?
That's what it says here.
cheap. For this quality cigar.
It's a Brazilian Arabiraca
Arabica.
wrapper. Also available in a short Robusto, short Perfecto, and a Bellicoso. Just as a note he wrote here, I tried one of these and instantly knew you guys had to try it. Not a lot of info on the blend as far as I can see. Not sure how good and unbanded it is, though, as there aren't many PCs with a shaggy foot. I'll tell you what, it was perfect unbanded. I don't care.
Yep,
I still had no idea what it was.
And a lot of people are using this instead of Connecticut broadleaf.
What is this?
Brazilian
Oh, the
Arabica.
Brazilian
Yeah, there's a lot of
Arabica.
cigars
Yeah.
out there right now that
Because
have it.
we're
It's
making
very
a
good.
Yeah, I knew it was a Brazilian touch, but
If you guys have tried them before, then this should be an easy lob. If not, then hopefully you enjoyed them. They don't come with bands.
I still like mine
That
better.
price right there is.
Yeah.
See, that's what they call a value cigar.
I'm
going
to go out and buy that because
It's
that
tremendous.
comes out to be what, like $4.50 is what that comes out to be.
in a smoke like that.
Yeah.
That's going.
Tim
into
would really
humidor.
love this too.
That's going into
Tim's gonna
humidor.
like this
That's
one.
going into humidor.
See,
for
to
sure.
me, I got a lot of toastiness off this.
Yeah.
A lot of toastiness.
Yes. Very toasty.
But that first one I had, I'm telling you, I can't wait to smoke number 1. At this point, I still like the first one I smoked.
All right. So number 1. So Roma Craft Tobacco Intemperance. Thank you, Gravity, for that. That was actually on a list of cigars to get for the show, and so he gave it to us unbanded. So we actually did that. So now number 1,
Which I'm smoking right
which
now.
Mark Jr. is smoking right now, which was my cigar during segment number 1.
Okay, let's go over the profiles. What do you guys both agree on? You got spice.
Yeah, there was a lot of spice.
I got like a leathery, cedary type flavor
yes.
to it. Yeah.
Leather and cedar would be accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Very,
Cigar-
very, very good cigar, actually.
Cigar number 1, I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was awesome. Had a lot of character, I thought. A lot of character. This is you guys, you're never going to believe this. Cigars of Habanos custom rolled. This is a 4.9 by 50 Robusto. It's $230 for a box of 25. There is literally no info on these. LOL. I ordered so Gravity says I ordered a 10-pack of these just to see what they were like. At first, they were fairly harsh and very flighty in their taste, but after resting for 6 months, I was fairly impressed with them. One of the most floral cold draws I've ever tasted. They offer zero info on these, so I hope, love to tell you guys more, but that's it. Hope you enjoy.
I'm going to tell you what. This is the best 300 Bandit cigars I've done.
Absolutely.
You need to take that other number 1 and smoke it.
Oh, I
Yeah,
will.
smoke that.
you need to.
Yeah.
This thing is.
I
So
gotta-
it's Cuban. Cigars of Habanos, right?
Yeah.
It's Cuban.
Well,
Because
well, he said there was no info about them.
But I don't know why that site doesn't sell anything that's not Cuban.
They
Oh, they
do.
do.
They
They
do.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
They even got Rocky Patel's on the site, believe it or not.
Ugh.
No, it is a Cuban. COH Custom Roll is into the Cuban cigars section of their site. So it was, in fact, Cuban. That was a different Cuban profile.
Yeah, it's not.
When you say spice,
I
you never.
didn't think Cuban.
I didn't think Cuban either. No, I thought Nicaraguan almost, not Cuban.
You did say that
I
twice.
did,
You said, yeah.
I can't wait till you try the one I tried. I'm telling you.
All right.
Yeah, Gravity
Oh.
said these are Cuban Puros. That's all he knows.
Dude, this man's something.
Gravity, you're the man, dude.
That was some special on
Oh, I
Bandits.
think what we
liked
got
them.
to do is, before we're going to have to send that package, we got to kick it up a little bit more. Just a little.
Kick it up some notches. Gravity, now's the time to put in the chat room your wish list, man.
That's right.
And
Dude,
now's the time.
I'll take your...
Type it up.
Gravity, right now, throw up your white whale.
That's
right
right.
now.
Right now.
Right
what
now.
do
Right
you need? If you need some pork tenderloin, some different things, let me know. Just please
None of
let
this
me know.
LOL nonsense. Put it up right now.
Right. Don't mess around, buddy. Do not mess around. We'll take care of that, my friend.
So
Gravity, if you need if you want some different, I got some pork tenderloins.
You got some. I
got
gave you
some
3
also.
really solid smokes that are coming your way.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna retool some different things for him.
Alrighty. That concludes the show. We have no context.
actually, it is
for
the pork
show.
tenderloin you just wrote.
Yeah, the pork tenderloin he wants.
Okay,
Stogie said
it's
he can
done.
get with one
It's
of
done.
those.
It's all done.
We had no contest for this show.
Sure. And that contest is, what day of the week are we on?
What is the new Stogie Geeks time slot?
All right.
And what are
I'm
we
just
going
going to throw this out there.
What do we-
Gravity wins the contest.
Gravity wins. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what, Mark Jr.? I agree.
Yeah.
It's done. It's
Gravity
settled.
wins the contest.
Yeah.
Gravity wins the contest by default. He sent in the correct answer because he sent in so many.
Yeah, you win, dude.
Fabulous. You win. You win, and we're going to send you cigars.
Yeah, there you go.
You got it. That's beautiful. Couldn't think of a better way to end the show than to congratulations to Gravity for winning this week's contest of epic cigars from the Stogie Geeks crew.
And I want to yell out to my buddy Steve. He's still listening. Congratulations to him and his lovely wife.
Did they have a child?
It's on the way.
Stephen Drew?
Yeah, just found out.
Congrats, Stephen
Congrats,
Drew.
man.
Yeah,
Congrats.
I'm so happy for him. He's a phenomenal person, and his mom as well.
Excellent. Well, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see everyone next week on the Stogie Geek Show.